Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Four-time Pro Bowler among Cowboys options to replace Darren Bland. By the end of March, when the Cowboys had made no move to re-sign Stephon Gilmore as he sat waiting for the right free agent offer, it was clear that the future Hall of Famer's time in Dallas was done. The Cowboys' salary cap woes have been well documented, and the $10 million Gilmore eventually got from Minnesota probably was never going to fit the Dallas budget. Still, it felt risky, not bringing back a veteran who had performed well in 2023. On Saturday, the risk became apparent, much like last year, with Trayvon Diggs. The Cowboys have had a star cornerback go down to injury, throwing their depth at the position into question. This time it was Diggs' bookend, All-Pro cornerback Darren Bland. The Cowboys announced Saturday morning, before the final preseason game against the Chargers, that Bland has a stress fracture in his foot that will require surgery and keep him out for 6 to 8 weeks. Immediately, the Gilmore regret resurfaced, and thoughts of adding another veteran to slide into Bland's place cropped up. At CBS Sports, the arrow pointed to one of the best available and signed free agent DBs, former Dolphins corner Xavier Howard, the 31-year-old four-time Pro Bowler who has led the NFL in interceptions twice in his 8-year career. In an article titled, All-Pro CB Darren Bland out 6 to 8 weeks, Cowboys' top available options to overcome loss of corner, analyst Garrett Podale wrote that Howard would be the top free agent option, even as he fends off some legal issues that might create uncertainty around a future possible suspension. He notes, Howard is one of the NFL's most decorated cornerbacks of the last 5 to 6 years, making either a Pro Bowl and/or an All-Pro team in 4 or 5 seasons from 2018 to 2022. During that stretch, the Dolphins ran man coverage at the highest rate in the NFL, on 45.9% of those plays. The Cowboys ran man coverage on 36.1% of their defensive snaps in 2023, the third highest rate in the entire NFL. Sure, new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer has been making tweaks to Dallas defense as he succeeds Dan Quinn, but he isn't reinventing the wheel. That means Howard could potentially be a scheme fit. One thing to weigh with Howard is his legal process regarding allegations of sharing revenge porn. Problem is, Howard struggled with age and injury in 2023, and the Dolphins had little trouble letting him go. His coverage grade at Pro Football Focus in 2023 was 51.9, which ranks 178th among cornerbacks. By comparison, Bland rated an 89.9 grade, which was third in the NFL among corners, and Gilmore was 72.3, which was 46th. Indeed, the Cowboys appear to have some confidence in rookie fifth-round pick Kalen Carson, from Wake Forest. He is the first man up to replace Bland, which would be the ideal situation for the Cowboys. Relying on Carson, despite the promise he has shown, will come with risk. Still, he impressed coach Mike McCarthy in training camp. Yeah. I mean, Kalen looks really good, McCarthy said in late July, via the Dallas Morning News. His raw talent and athletic ability just jumps off at you. One thing about not being in pads, the perimeter players do have an opportunity to really challenge themselves. And some of things we're doing in the secondary, are different than emphasizing what we've done in the past. And it's great work on both sides. Also of note, though, is that when team owner Jerry Jones was asked about the possibility of signing Howard or any other free agent defensive back, he quickly shot down the notion. Cowboys Mike McCarthy sends strong message on Trey Lance after 5-INT finale. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy isn't losing confidence in Trey Lance following his 5-interception game. Lance played the entirety of the Cowboys' preseason finale against the Los Angeles Rams. Not only did Dallas lose 26-19, Lance threw 5 interceptions, becoming just the second quarterback over the past 30 preseasons to throw that many interceptions in a single game, according to Ed Werder. While the performance was certainly a setback after he threw for a touchdown with 0 interceptions in a 27-12 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders during the week prior, Lance still has the support of his head coach Mike McCarthy. The 24-year-old Lance didn't see a single snap of action during the 2023 season after being acquired in a preseason trade with the San Francisco 49ers. Furthermore, he didn't see much reps or practice time being behind starter Dak Prescott and backup Cooper Rush. Lance, who hasn't appeared in a regular season game since Week 2 of the 2022 season, admitted his struggles following the game. However, he stressed that his confidence isn't going anywhere despite throwing 5 interceptions. "Ups and downs for sure," said Lance after the game. "I turned the ball over too many times. My confidence isn't going anywhere. This sucks. This is one I'm not going to forget about anytime soon, but it's part of it. You just got to flush it and turn the page." Team owner Jerry Jones, who previously stated that Lance would be on the 53-man roster when the season starts, made it clear to reporters after the game that he isn't regretting his decision to trade the former number 3 overall draft pick. The Cowboys gave up a 4th-round draft pick to the Niners to acquire Lance. For a 4th-round pick? Are you kidding me? Although we did get Dak with our second 4th-round pick in 2016, said Jones following the game. But we've had some that didn't play in the 4th round, too. While it's clear Lance has a ways to go before he can be considered a starting quarterback in this league, he did see extended action during the preseason. Prescott didn't take a single snap and rushed through just 6 pass attempts, and showed some bright spots. In fact, Lance became the first player since 2017 to throw for 500 passing yards to go along with 150 rushing yards in a single preseason, as Werder noted. That's not even mentioning the 46-yard rushing touchdown that Lance had in the 3rd quarter, showing off his athleticism and playmaker ability. Lance finished with 90 rushing yards on 11 attempts. Lance had been considered in a battle with Rush, Dallas' longtime backup quarterback, for the number 2 job behind Prescott. However, after a mistake-filled preseason, it's more likely that Lance once again begins the season as the 3rd quarterback. Dallas Cowboys' Darren Bland sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks with a stress fracture in his foot following a record-setting 2023 season. Dallas Cowboys cornerback Darren Bland, who set an NFL record last season by returning 5 interceptions for touchdowns, will be out for 6 to 8 weeks due to a stress fracture in his foot. Bland will need surgery for the injury, which was discovered after he reported pain in his foot during training camp in California last week. An imaging test showed the stress fracture. The Cowboys announced Bland's injury before their preseason finale against the Los Angeles Chargers. The team had recently left their California training camp. This injury is a setback for the Cowboys as they prepare for the return of 2021 All-Pro Trayvon Diggs, who missed most of last season due to a torn knee ligament. Diggs led the NFL with 11 interceptions in 2021. In his second season, Bland was an All-Pro after leading the league with 9 interceptions. His first pick 6 happened in the season opener against the New York Giants, followed by additional ones in Week 4 against New England, Week 8 against the Los Angeles Rams, and Week 10 against Carolina. His 4th return for a touchdown tied the record previously held by Philadelphia's Eric Allen, Kansas City's Jim Kearney, and Houston's Ken Houston. He set a new record the following week in a game against Washington. Bland, a 5th-round pick from Fresno State in 2022, has 14 interceptions in 34 games. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Darren Bland? Leave your opinion in the comments.